Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Football Manager experiment where today we're taking a look at how Harry Maguire would do as a striker. Now, the reason why I thought of this is I was watching a game where they needed to get a goal to, I think it was win the group stage of the Europa League. And they stuck Harry Maguire up top for a bit. I think he was putting himself about and I thought that'd be interesting. Could he do it for an actual season? So what we've done is we've gone into the team. We've got Harry Maguire, turned him into a striker. He is converted now as a target forward, best place for him to be. To be fair, he doesn't look horrendous as a striker. If you play him as a target forward, okay, his finishing isn't great at 8, but he's got 17 heading, 13 first touch, which isn't bad. Great bravery, off the ball's low, but otherwise his stamina, strength, balance, jumping reach, it's all pretty good. Decent anticipation, good teamwork, composure and decision making aren't bad either. So he could be all right. But there's only one real way to find out. What we've done is we've stuck him in a 4-4-2 wing play. So hopefully that should kind of be his best attribute. And we're kind of just going to sim through this season, maybe next season as well, just to see how he gets on. Not bothered how Man United do with him there. All I care about is how Harry does. Because Harry is slabhead. He is the man of the hour. And fingers crossed he does well. So let's jump ahead and see how things are going. Okay then, so we're halfway through the season. We've just hit the 1st of January. And Harry's been having a time, that's for sure. He's currently got 3 goals in 10 appearances for them in the Prem as a striker, 1 assist as well, and a player of the match. So can't argue too much with that. He's also played in European competition for them a few times, getting a few goals as well. 4 goals in 4 games for them. So not bad at all. They're sitting pretty at the top of the group in the Europa League. They're in the 3rd round of the FA Cup. Did get knocked out of the Carabao, but no one cares about that. And the qualifying for the Europa League is still on track, sitting in 5th place. Taking a look at the schedule, let's see if we can pick up any of his goals so far, because I just want to see how he's managed to put them away. Here's his first, it looks like his first goal for the club. How did this one come about? It was a 3-1 win against West Ham. And did he manage? How did he get the goal? He was partnered up top with Rashford this game. Rashford got 2 goals there, but he also provided an assist for Harry Maguire as the ball is headed out by Wan-Bissaka. Comes to McTominay. Anthony looking for a ball up to Rashford, who gets down the right hand side, fires it across. Maguire with a fantastic finish into the bottom left hand corner. Not bad at all. My goodness me, I've just seen he scored a hat trick. Harry Maguire scored a hat-trick against Malmo in the Europa League. We're watching these. And then we'll jump ahead to the end of the season. But he was partnered up top with Martial this time. And it looks like total dominance for Man United in this one. But this is what we've got to see. So Malmo did take the lead in the game. Knudsen, on a hell of a run. Back to Nielsen, who laid it off. But Harry Maguire said, that's enough. No more in today's game. Anthony on the right-hand side looked to go around the corner to Martial, who was able to get that ball across. Maguire goes up for the header, and look at the power of that header. They had no chance of dealing with him there. So that's his first goal. Varane looking long again, up to Anthony, who again looking to deliver the ball. No, he shoots this time. Martial gets up, and then Maguire with another header, heads it in. That head of his, it's undefeatable. The perfect target man. Maguire, this time though, for his 3rd, having to do a bit more work by the looks of it. Having to turn, cuts back inside on his left foot, fires it in. And he can do it both with his head and his feet by the looks of it. Quite the finish. He's also got a couple against Notts Forest, which I think we're going to have a look at as well, aren't we, before we move on. Just because Wan-Bissaka and Rashford providing the assists for these ones. He scored in the first 4 minutes, so he's obviously in control of the game. Dalot getting down the right-hand side, plays it into Martial, who cuts back. It is cleared by Nicky Akite. Wan-Bissaka's ball in, and Maguire gets up so easy there. But his second came when Bruno Fernandes got the ball, looked for a switch of play over to Rashford, whose first time ball in, And Maguire won the header again. I mean, get the ball in the box and that boy will score. They're in the FA Cup third round. They're in the Europa League round of 16. So they've got still things to fight for, as well as obviously European competition. Can Maguire lead them to glory? We will have to see. So let's jump to the end of the season and see how he gets on. So we're at the end of the season, and I mean, the first thing to note is they're sitting in fourth. He's managed to bring them up the table, that's for sure. -2 goal difference, which is very strange, but they did manage to get into the Champions League, so that's one thing to note. And of course, Harry, how have you got on? He's on a well-deserved break now, on a holiday, but 10 goals in 29 appearances. Not too bad for someone who's not actually a striker. 5 goals in 9 in continental competition as well. So he's not done too badly, really. I mean, double digits, first season as a striker. You can't argue too much. And I mean, he's also been banging them in the European competition as well, by the looks of things. Let's take a look at Man United then, and how did they do with schedules wise. So if we come down here, we can see kind of how things went. Harry Maguire getting 2 goals against Aston Villa. That's what he does, even though they did end up losing that one. They got to the semi-final of the Europa League, ended up losing to Tottenham there, but didn't really get any goals there, although he did get a couple at the end against Crystal Palace end of the season. Are there any more that we can kind of pick up on? He did get one in the competition against Leipzig in the Europa League and a couple against Brighton. So let's take a look at these Brighton goals then. How did he get on? How did he score these bad boys? Let's say. So first off, we've got one with Bruno Fernandes providing the assist. He was up top with Ronaldo, and Maguire said, "No, Ronaldo, I'll score the goals." Bruno Fernandes with the corner, delivers, heads it in. I expect, no, not first time. Looks like second time though. He might have been able to, as again, power header into the bottom corner for that one. We can also take a look at his other 2 that he scored against Palace this time. So let's see how this one goes in. Cristiano Ronaldo again being up top with him. And he did provide an assist this time. In the 19th minute, it was a Palace coming forward, but Dalot was able to take control of that. Long ball to Ronaldo, who fired the ball across. It took a deflection, but Maguire was there again to head it home. Fantastic. Let's take a look at his other goal in that game as well. How did that one end up slipping into the back of the net? It was the 86th minute to win the game. Of course, his composure there shining through with the quality he has up top. As the ball was played forward, Gay looking to deal with that. He does somewhat, but Wan-Bissaka was able to get onto it. Into Sancho, whose ball fired across, and Maguire's anticipation and movement was just so good to get in front of the defender and slot it home. So they ended up in fourth. And to be fair, I think Maguire's done pretty well. But now he's had one season under his belt. Will he be able to do better with another season? Well, let's have a look. He's 30 years old, so he is coming to the end of his term, but he's a towering striker. 18 heading. Could be a hell of a player. Let's jump ahead and take a look how we got on in the year after. So the first thing to note is probably that United didn't have a good season at all. They were down in 15th in the end. Although, that said, we can see Harry Maguire was their top goal scorer. So it was all focused on him, and he's certainly done pretty well. To be fair, they have lost a lot of players. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at how he's gone. So it's 17 goals in 38 games and 5 assists. I mean, he's not bad, is he? 3 goals in 3 games in cup competition, 4 in 12 in continental. And he got 4 in pre-season as well by the looks of it. So doing pretty well. And he seems to be their talisman up top. And there's a good reason for it. What a player. What a player he is. Let's take a look at the United kind of schedule and how that went. I mean, he scored the first goal of the season, which is obviously very, very important. And then as we go through the seasons, let's take a look. I mean, he got 2 of 4 goals against Arsenal in the Premier League. Getting a couple in here. One looks like he did on his own. Another, probably a delivery from Sancho from out wide, shall we guess? We'll take a look at both of these. As we load this one up, we can see Tomiyasu delaying on the ball. Maguire's pressure on him. He does well to get past Saliba as well. 2 players complete, and then just smashes it home on his weaker foot as well to fire it in for 1 goal. And then he did manage to get a second, as we saw. This time, Jadon Sancho playing it through to Rashford. He was having to play it back to Sancho, who found Maguire, who tucks it away again. It's just what he does. It is just what he does. But we can also see he got an assist in this game for Rashford. He turns, attacker turn provider. And what a pass that is. That was beautifully done. A lovely turn, a lovely pass. And it's a great finish by Rashford. So Maguire is so influential by the looks of things. A hat-trick here against Middlesbrough. Let's take a look at his hat-trick before we go. I think this is safe to say that we've witnessed a fantastic player performing in his prime years, that's for sure. So his first one came on the 36th minute. United were actually 2-1 down at this point, by the looks of it. So they were fighting back. Anthony with a whipped ball in, and Maguire smashes that home with a fantastic header. It's a good delivery, an even better header. He then got almost identically in the sense that Anthony provided the ball in for him in this one as well, as it was shot over the top. Anthony with a dinked ball over, and Maguire gets up well to head that past the keeper. Well, head it into an open net anyway. So a lovely little pass again from Anthony. And then this one, Maguire with Rashford. Martial coming down the right-hand side. He fires it across. It's cleared initially for Rashford to latch onto. His delivery in. Once again, Maguire's header is too strong for the keeper. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. He is an absolute monster. But there are certain stages where things just haven't gone to plan, although he did score in the 2-1 victory over Man City. So we'll watch this. I'm having too much fun watching him score. Oh, no, that's Martial. We don't want to... No one cares about Martial. Martial didn't do anything. It's Maguire that we want to look at. He's our man of the hour. He's the goal machine. Let's take a look at this then. So Man City get on the ball initially, doing what they do, keeping hold of it well. But the Manchester derby isn't like that, and it isn't going to be easy as Lindelof manages to nick in front of the defender, plays it out to Anthony. He's going to take on his man. He gets tackled almost by Haaland, but his ball in finds Maguire, and he does what he does, heads it past the keeper into the back of the net. So they haven't done incredibly well. They've not done too good considering they went down to 15th, but Harry Maguire is top goal scorer for them. 17 goals this season in the league, which isn't bad at all. Could he be a striker? Absolutely, if you play to his strengths. I think he could be. But yeah, you might lose a little bit from everywhere else. Let's just say that. Man United fans, let me know if you'd have Harry as your striker, if you needed a target man, if that's a better position for him than centre-half. We'll never know. Maybe we'll play him in there in the World Cup if England need him to. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below of any sort of experiments you want me to take a look at. And I'll catch you in the next one.